Recording. Okay. Okay. Can you all let me know a thumbs up if you can see the screen? Should be a green screen. Okay, it says Shaklee Health Chat. I hope you all can see that. We're going to get started. So I'm Rebecca Colby. Welcome tonight. Katie Kowalski and I are sharing a little bit of inviting and sharing this with you all. I hope you can still see that. I always have a hard time with the technical part of Zoom. So go ahead and mute if you're not already muted. And we're going to get started with talking about women's health tonight. But what I want to share with you is a little bit about my background and a little bit about my story, so you know who you're getting information from tonight. So like I said, I'm Rebecca Colby. I'm a Wisconsin native, as is Katie and some other people on the call tonight. And my husband and I, who is pictured there, I hope you can see him, is David. And he is a research professor at Ole Miss. And he is a pharmacist, and he's a chemist, and he's an all-around smart guy. I'm happy to have him in my corner here when we share information about things that we're going to share tonight. He's not with me right now. He's actually at a meeting in Washington, D.C., but with David and I have been using Shaklee products for about 7 years now. And I grew up with Shaklee. My story actually begins with my parents, who found Shaklee before I was born, when my mom was having some significant health issues, and her doctor told her to have a hysterectomy. And she did not want to have that surgery, so she started to look to natural means to rebuild her health and try different things, different dietary supplements. Nothing was working. And then one of her friends had introduced her to Shaklee and said, I think these natural whole food supplements and products are very good quality. I think they might be able to help you. So my mom was open, thankfully, and she started to use the vitamins and the protein. And over time, she was able to rebuild her health so much that she did not need a hysterectomy, and so much that she ended up with a surprise pregnancy, and that was with me. So I grew up, my siblings and I grew up with Shaklee, with the green cleaning products that we have, and the dietary supplements and protein and things like that. I never paid attention to what it was about. It's just what we did. I was a healthy kid. And fast forward to college age, I left it behind. I didn't think I needed supplements, and I wasn't taking good care of myself, and I didn't think that I needed to do all of that. And I started to develop lots of health issues, and just thought that was kind of normal. I was on medications for the first time for reoccurring sinus infections, and I had eczema and contact dermatitis and asthma, or not asthma, but allergies and acid reflux and different things like that. So I was a more sick person, but I didn't pay attention until we started our family. And these are our two little boys. Andrew is 8 years old and Benjamin is 6. And when Andrew was a baby, I started to look for safer cleaning products to clean my home. And I started to ask other moms, what are you using around your little ones? And one mom said to me one day, have you ever heard of Shaklee? And I was surprised, because I had heard of Shaklee, but I didn't know what Shaklee was about. I didn't know the quality and how it could really change my family's health for the better. So we started to use those products. My husband got excited when he started to look into the science, just because that's what scientists do. They look at science and scientific journals. And he had access to that at the university he was working at. And he was blown away by the third-party testing and pharmaceutical standards, and over 100 published papers in medical journals and science journals and nursing journals and health journals. And David informed me that is unique. The FDA does not police companies like Shaklee. And so he was really, really impressed. We started to use the supplements, at least he did at first. I was pregnant with Benjamin, and at 34 weeks gestation, he came very fast and very early and very sick. He had severe lung disease. We were told that he would have asthma, which he does not have, thankfully. He's actually a really healthy kid. And so that's when I started to use the supplements and the protein. I lost weight in a healthy way. I was able to maintain now for 6-7 years. And I don't have the health issues that I was having. My energy levels are higher than they were when I was in my 20s, and I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm 41. And so things had changed, and people started to ask me, what are you doing? And I started to just share, this is what I'm using, and people started to use the products. And before I knew it, I had a business. It's very, very rewarding. And one of my goals in my business, my main goal is to, empower and inspire other people, specifically women, to better health, to eating healthier, to exercising more, to learning about nutrition for their family, for themselves, to learn about smart supplementation. And that's what I'm so excited to share tonight, is about our women's health chat. And that's the topic. And we use Shaklee as the vehicle to help people to gain better health. Now, I don't have a slide, but Katie Kowalski is my co-partner tonight, sharing here and there. And I know she's invited some of you tonight. Katie, are you still there? Can you just for a few minutes and tell people your story and why you're sharing with them tonight?
Yeah, so I'm Katie Kowalski. I moved to Oxford about a year and a half ago, and I met Rebecca through church. We both go to the same church. And she kind of asked me, what are your hobbies? What are you interested in? And I really love fitness and helping people, and just helping people reach their fitness goals and just becoming the best you that you can be. So over time, Rebecca introduced me to different Shaklee products, and I started out with the Vitalizer, which Rebecca's going to talk about later, which is the vitamins. And through that, I slowly got introduced to more and more Shaklee products, and I started to love them just because of all the research that there is about them, and just the quality of the supplements and protein that we have, and just the model behind Shaklee. So right now I work with adults with addictions, and then I also became a personal trainer. So I'm able to use my training and Shaklee together to help the individuals that I train to become healthier and better versions of themselves.
Yeah, that's great. And Katie's doing a great job at that. And we both are Wisconsinites and have similar backgrounds in wellness. She's a recreational therapist and I'm a music therapist by trade. So we had that in common, and she's just doing great. So welcome everybody. That's a little bit about us. And let's see if we can get the slides to skip. So there's our women's health slide. I love this slide. And for those of you who are not familiar, this is really one of the things that really makes what we're going to talk about tonight different from other things that perhaps you've heard about or even tried. We have this wonderful history in our company that, as you can see here, 100 years of innovation. Dr. Shaklee was a biochemist, and he started the company in 1959 as a corporation, 56 as a corporation, excuse me. But in 1915, he developed the very first multiple vitamin, Vitalized Minerals, in the United States. And that today is our Vital-E, which we're going to talk a little bit about. He made the very first biodegradable cleaning product, Basic H, in 1960, and he made the very first protein powder from the soy isolate in 1961. And since then, I'm not going to go through every detail here, but there's so much history and innovation, product innovation. He was way ahead of his time, and Shaklee continues to be on the edge, the forward edge of products, science, and things like that with this, which is what really impressed my husband. So there's a picture of Dr. Shaklee as a young man, and he, as you can see there on the left, he really believed that everything should be in harmony with nature. When we put things in our bodies, it should be as God intended them to be. And we live in a fast food, fast-paced world right now that's filled with, and I think it's just getting faster. And sometimes you just want to hold on the brakes. But when we're feeding our families, feeding ourselves, feeding our kids, grandkids, we want to pick things that are as close to nature as possible. And with all of the choices being so fast food, fast-paced, artificial ingredients and things like that, it's really hard to do that. And it's, organic is expensive and not everybody can afford that. And even with that label, sometimes you have to question. So it's really hard to know. There's a lot of genetically modified foods out there. And really because of that, people are just not getting what they need to from food alone. Now, taking that vision, being in harmony with nature, Roger Barnett is our CEO, and he's a visionary. I've met him on a number of occasions. I've heard him speak. He's a wonderful entrepreneur, speaker, and he looked at so many different companies and the network marketing model, which is sharing like we're doing tonight. And he was really, really blown away by Shaklee. He spent a lot of money and a lot of time researching, and he eventually bought our company in 2004, taking that original design or philosophy in harmony with nature and taking that to the current times. the products that we're going to talk about tonight, and we're not just talking about products, we're going to talk about diet and all of that, but this is kind of the backdrop for what you're going to hear. So I want to make sure I cover this. But, we go beyond organic with purity and safety. And, that really reflects the belief that the quality standards go beyond how and where an ingredient is grown. We really look to confirm that purity and potency of ingredients, which is so important. From the creation of the product to the delivery to the customer. And we do over 100,000 quality tests per year. I've heard Dr. Daggy, who was visiting our town of Oxford, Mississippi a couple months ago, say, he's the chief science officer at Shaklee, say that we go above so much that it's closer to 200,000 quality tests per year. Over 350 contaminants and pesticides and impurities are tested on every new botanical ingredient. And this goes above and beyond what the United States Pharmacopoeia requires. Like I said before, this is what really impressed my husband, David, that we have over 120 published papers in scientific peer-reviewed journals. So a company might say, we have science. And I encourage you, if you're trying different products or with another company or thinking about other companies, call them up and ask them, what's the proof? What science do you have? If they have maybe one or two in-home studies that they're not publishing the results or not sharing, then you might want to look elsewhere. That's, you want to make sure that you have, that that what's on the label is in the bottle, and companies right now by law are not required to disclose that. So more than 70 patents and patents pending, again, something that David was really impressed with. And this is our landmark study that I love to highlight, because people say, do vitamins work? Do brands matter? Can't I just get a generic, whatever from wherever? And in fact, this study showed in 2007 at the UC College of Public Health at UC Berkeley that they were looking at, do supplements work and do brands matter? And they took three groups of supplement users or non-supplement users. One group was a Shaklee group of people who had been using the products, the vitamins, minerals, protein for over 20 years. Another group didn't take any vitamins or anything. And another group took XYZ multivitamin. And what they found, as you can see here, is across the board with the American Heart Association biomarkers for heart health, Shaklee group was healthier. The average age of the Shaklee group was 62. The average amount of prescription drugs they were on was 0.01. And you would think that somebody in their 60s might be on more medications prescribed, but that wasn't the case. And that really did show how supplements can work, smart supplementation, and brands can indeed matter. I like this slide because it really talks about, it's not just me and Katie and other people talking to friends and family about this company. And really, when I was reintroduced to Shaklee in around 2008, 2009, I really thought it was just my mom's circle of friends and her age group in Wisconsin that use these products. I had no idea that we are a global company, that NASA uses Shaklee, the White House uses Shaklee, and this is not just this current administration. I'm not trying to be political, but it's been back for a few presidents. And so also, we have the Shaklee Pure Performance Team, which is the Olympians that are using and trusting Shaklee, and they have to go through stringent drug testing on a regular basis. It's just random, and they more and more athletes are starting to trust because they have been afraid that performance enhancers would show up in their system from dietary supplements, and that has happened with other companies, and you can Google that to find information on that. But so more and more, athletes, explorers, people like that are joining Shaklee and have been actually for decades. Everything that we're going to talk about today has 100% money-back guarantee. All right, diving into women's health. This is why y'all came on tonight. That was the backdrop. Wanted to make sure I covered that. And tonight we're going to talk about the different stages of a woman's life and how there are different nutritional needs as we go through these different stages. So we have from young adults, women on the go, menopause, and healthy aging. And guys, just as a reminder, if you could mute your phone, we're getting a little bit of background noise. I just hear a phone ringing or something. So if you could go ahead and mute either, I think on most computers it's in the bottom left. So anyways, that's what we're going to talk about tonight is the different stages. And we're going to start with the young adults. This is teenage years through the late 20s. And these are the years for establishing a foundation for a healthy life. This is so important. This is really critical. And most teenagers are not getting what they need especially from diet and from, their diet, their foods, And, using smart supplementation is really, really critical because their bones are growing. So much is happening with hormones and all of that. So they need, during this stage of life, a healthy lifestyle habit is eating a well-balanced diet of fruits, vegetables, and protein. Calcium, so important for bone health. Hydration with water. Many kids seem to like the sugary drinks, the sodas, the high energy drinks, which can be very dangerous actually. And regular physical activity, which a lot of, obesity is on the rise, and we're seeing it in our young people. Okay, women on the go. This is late 20s to 40. Balance, exercise, and good nutrition are critical during this stage of life, because this is where the planning of the family, and if people are planning a family, prenatal vitamins are so critical, especially with that folic acid for before and during pregnancy, because they're seeing that if women are not having that folic acid in their system before pregnancy, it can lead to things like neural tube defects and things like that. You need a good multiple vitamin to meet nutritional needs, maintaining a healthy weight-bearing exercises to keeping those bones healthy, and avoiding smoking and the use of alcohol. Okay, the menopause stage is 40s to mid-50s. Hormonal changes can occur as early as, like I said, 40 to 55, and healthy lifestyle habits in this age group are daily servings of soy protein may help to reduce the frequency and severity of hot flashes. That's been shown in the literature. Increasing calcium and vitamin D, really important. That's the bricks and mortar for our bones. Managing stress and sleep, and this is really, really critical. The stress can lead to lack of sleep. And maintaining a healthy weight-bearing exercises again. Healthy aging, 55 and beyond. This is optimizing a woman's health during and after menopause. So some of those healthy habits are maintaining annual exams for bone density and heart health, really important. Omega-3s for heart health, increasing calcium and vitamin D, managing stress and sleep, maintaining a healthy weight, and again, those weight-bearing exercises, all very important. Okay, so across the board, all ages, we need a healthy diet, eating a variety of fruits and vegetables, including 7 servings of colorful fruits and vegetables. Juice doesn't count in this category. Getting plenty of whole grains, beans, and legumes. And the reason why, if you're wondering about juice, often it has added sugar and things like that, and we're adding the extra calories. We're not getting really the nutritional value from that. Choosing lean meats, fish, poultry, non-fat or low-fat dairy and soy foods, and selecting healthy fats. Eating more omega-3 fatty acids, monosaturated fats. Olive oil is a great one. Nuts, seeds, things like that. Some other healthy fats that are on my favorite list is avocado in moderation. That's a really great thing to add to salads. You can make fun things out of avocado. And avoiding all trans fats and saturated fats. Okay, I love this picture here. And we're going to talk about this a little bit. I'm going to let Katie share a little bit more on this. But this is our Vitalizer. Let's see if you can, I hope y'all can see that. My screen keeps jumping with the pictures, so I'm hoping everybody can see the picture. So we have here this strip of vitamins, and this is called Vitalizer, and this is what Katie was talking about earlier that she had started with. You would need to eat all of this organically to get the same amount of nutrition that is found in this strip. Now, this strip came out of that landmark study that I was talking about in 2007. Shaklee scientists went to the drawing board and said, okay, what is this group in the Shaklee group taking every day? They're taking multiple vitamins. They're taking a probiotic. They're taking some B complex. They're taking some omegas. They're taking C. They're taking vitamin E. They're taking carotenoids and things like antioxidants. They put it together in this wonderful strip of vitamins called Vitalizer. And again, you'd have to eat all of this organically to get the same amount of nutrition there. So Katie, if you wouldn't mind unmuting again and sharing a little bit about your experience with Vitalizer, and that would be great if you don't mind doing that. Are you still there?
Yeah. Hey guys. So the Vitalizer really has helped me. I definitely noticed that I really like the B and C complex in there. That gives me that little extra energy throughout the days. And then just the quality of the vitamins are really good as well. I used to take like an off-brand Walgreens one, and I can totally tell the difference now that I've switched to the Vitalizer. I have more energy throughout the day, and I just feel stronger and healthier, which I really like as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And me too. I can relate to that. So when my son was born at 34 weeks gestation, I was a pretty hot mess as far as hormones go, my weight. I was not balancing. I had an almost 2-year-old at home. I had a baby in the NICU. Life was very, very stressful. And I'm a planner, and this was not my plan to have this. So I was really under a lot of stress. And I talked to my mentor. Her name is Joyce Hoffman, and she has been with Shaklee since 1969 with her husband, Chuck. They live in Minneapolis, and Joyce is a nurse. She's an RN, and she was at Mayo for a number of years. And I called her up for help with Benjamin because she specialized in, baby's health, children's health. And I said, what can I do for my son? And she took the time to ask about me. How are you, Rebecca? And I was not doing well at all. And she said, maybe it's time that you start using some of the supplements. And I said, what do you got? What do you recommend? And this is one thing that she suggested because of everything we've talked about. And because you can see here on the slide, if I can move it out of the way a little bit, that this is something that gives you the things I mentioned, and it's a multivitamin with the nutrition that your body needs to create that foundation. And that, I talk to people about that a lot. With our diet not being what it used to be, our food source, many people are lacking, the right amounts of vitamins, minerals, protein in their diet. And this helps to lay that solid foundation for building health on. And so this is one of the things that I started on. And let me skip to the next slide. You can see here that it has something called the Smart Delivery System, again, unique to Shaklee. This is patented by Shaklee, where all of the vitamins in the strip get where they need to be in the body before they break down for optimal benefit. It has to do with the special coating. And I love to show the example of this probiotic at the bottom. It gets down to the gut. It gets through the stomach acid. It gets through the digestive process, which is what you want. You want that probiotic to get to the gut. And there's so much research and ongoing research showing that when our gut flora, the bacteria, is unhealthy, then that can lead to a whole slew of health issues that you wouldn't necessarily associate with gut health, from allergies to eczema and, different arthritis pain and different things. It's very interesting to me. And our gut flora gets off because of toxins in our foods, medication that we might be on, environmental toxins. There's so many reasons why that can happen. If you've been on antibiotics, it kills off the good and bad bacteria, so you need to replenish that because the body doesn't normally do that on its own, or it doesn't automatically do that on its own. Okay, so don't skip breakfast, guys. I talk to a lot of people who, I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm just going to skip breakfast. I'm not much of a breakfast person. Maybe I'll have a little toast, coffee, that's my breakfast. And we don't want to do that. That's our fuel. It's kind of like you're going to take a long trip by car. You have to put the good stuff in the tank. Otherwise, you're not going to get very far. And that can lead to so many health issues, obesity and weight gain. And it also can, of course, low energy and things like that. So eating a good breakfast is really, really important to fuel you. And what I've been having since my son was in the NICU, so he's going to be 7 years old in August, is a Shaklee shake. And this is the one that I love and I have just about every single day. It's our Life Energy Shake. And this is what fuels me and fuels so many people. And I will tell you, at 41, I do feel more energized and better than I did in my 20s. And I love this. The flavors taste really good. You're getting a lot of protein, and you're getting this, the non-GMO protein, which is really important when you're looking at soy products. We also have a non-soy product as well, for people who might have a true allergy to soy. But I took a nutrition class a few years ago online at I can't think of the school now, out in California, and the nutritionist was saying how soy is the best, most complete plant-based protein out there. And it gets a bad reputation. I have a lot of resources I can share with people who are interested in that topic, but it really is such a good food for your body. And this is a great shake to do that. It can help with weight management. It has something called leucine, which is an amino acid shown to burn fat but retain lean muscle mass. And it also helps with digestion and different things like that because it has some probiotics in it. Some of the flavors have prebiotics as well, and some fiber and omegas and things like that. It's just a really great tasting and very healthy shake. So women of all ages, exercise is so important. It reduces the risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and some other cancers, helps to achieve and maintain a healthy weight, and reduces feelings of depression and anxiety. Helps to build healthy bones, muscles, joints, promotes flexibility and balance. So what you can do is, if you're just starting out, just adding in some light walking, maybe every day, every other day, just getting the heart rate going a little bit. And kind of, this is one of the goals that you might be working towards, 30 to 45 minutes per day of activity, preferably aerobic activity, 3 days per week of strength training, maybe just some light weights, or if you don't have those, just some canned goods, things like that to start to strengthen those muscles and bones. Okay, speaking of bones, so this is really important. Weight-bearing exercises help to grow the bones stronger. And for most people, our bones reach maximum density between the ages of 25 to 30. And so that's why the younger people have to really, really look at that, the exercise piece, the calcium and magnesium and vitamin D piece. But if you're past these ages like I am, then you can help to maintain what you have. And you can see here the picture of normal bone versus the bone with osteoporosis, which of course is what we do not want. So exercise and a balanced diet help to support bone health. And it really does take a combination of nutrients working together to help prevent bone loss. Some of those are, like I said, the magnesium, the calcium, the phosphorus, vitamin D. That's, again, that bricks and mortar, they work together, and the protein. That's really good for bone health. Protein is good for all cells in the body, but it's really important. So when I make up a big protein shake in the morning, I put greens in there and kale and spinach and some frozen tropical fruits. Those are my favorites, like mango, pineapple, a little bit of banana, because that takes the bitterness out of the greens. And I throw in my protein shake, I blend it up, and my kids love it. So in the morning, I make what I call a family shake, and that's my shake. That's what I do, but I make extra. So my husband supplements his breakfast because he likes to eat other things for breakfast. And my kids, they have other things for breakfast as well, but they also have some protein shake, and it's really good for many, many things for children. They also get some calcium, and it's really important for women as well. So other key vitamins for the bones, these A, C, E, B, vitamin K, zinc, copper, manganese, boron. And we have, for women, a wonderful, and this is for men as well, a wonderful calcium supplement that helps to reduce the risk of osteoporosis. This has been shown clinically, and this really helps to build bone density when you're young and minimize bone loss as we age. That's what I was sharing before. So you can see what we have here. We have, this really gets us up to what we need supplement-wise. And when you're supplementing smart, you want to make sure that you're filling in the gaps for, eating a healthy, well-balanced diet. I talk to people about, we don't want to be eating fast food all day and then take our Shaklee vitamins and think that it cancels it out. We want to embrace a healthier lifestyle, and that's part of my mission, to help people to do that. And so this is a great supplement for bones. We also have a chewable form of this that my kids like. So when you're putting this vitalizer and the calcium together, what you're getting is the vitamins, the minerals together to really help with bones, and as they're constantly being remodeled, it helps to replace old bone tissue into new bone tissue. This is a study that was done. So what you can see there in the middle, it says the clinical study of 3 groups showed, with the different, didn't supplement, took calcium plus the multiple vitamin, that the last group, the multiple vitamin plus calcium, built the most bone. So there really is some studies behind, what we're sharing tonight, and why that's so important for women and for people in general. So stress, we all have that, right? And I think that women tend to carry stress differently than men, and we, take on different stressful situations. We're multiple tasking. We wear many, many hats during our day. And so the health consequences of stress can lead to so many different health issues. Digestive issues is a big one, compromised immune function, sleep disorders, weight gain, hypertension, and heart disease. So ways to manage: you want to, number one, identify what causes the stress in your life. Schedule in relaxation time. I'm a high go person. I love to relax, but I need to pencil it in my schedule to make sure that I'm taking that time. Maybe some of you can relate to that. Getting good nutrition, exercising regularly, sleeping more 7 to 8 hours a night. That's what we need. And, there's other herbs here that are listed that can help with some botanical support. And those herbs are found in something that is my favorite supplement. I think that all women should have this in their purse, in their car, in their pantry, and wherever you need it, because it's something that helps to take that edge off of stress. I don't take this every day. I don't need it every day. But on days that I know that I'm going to have more stress in my life, then I will make sure that I have this. My husband's out of town right now, and I have 2 little kids, and it's the final week of school for them. So I'm taking stress relief this week because it helps me to be a nicer mom and just to, be more balanced. So this has a blend of clinically tested ingredients designed to support calm or relaxed state without causing drowsiness. And it has that ashwagandha, that traditional herb used to help the body adapt to heightened stress. This is one that Joyce Hoffman had recommended to me when Benjamin was in the hospital. This along with some extra B complex, and it really did help my stress levels. Now, Katie, I know you had said you had something you wanted to share about this real quick on the stress relief. Are you still with us?
Yep. Yeah. So for my job, again, I work with adults with addictions. And 1 day a week, we'll take our patients off campus that are doing really well. And I'm in charge of that whole thing. So I need to set it up and make sure the patients that are going are the ones that are eligible to go. And it's very stressful just to try to make sure we leave on time and everything. So we're not late and we don't leave any patients behind. So before I was introduced to this, I was always really stressed and like, oh, we got to get going. We got to make sure everything's ready. And it was just really high anxiety for me on Wednesdays when I take the patients off campus. But ever since I've started taking the stress relief complex, and again, I only take it on Wednesdays. It's not like now I need to take it every day because I've started it, which is really nice. So again, just that 1 day a week. And it's like I'm a totally different person, and I'm able to manage my stress better and anxiety, and which that helps the patients relax and not be as stressed about going off campus as well.
Yeah, and that's really important. I had a job like that as well, and we used to go off campus, and it was very, very stressful. So I wish I would have had this back then. But thank you for sharing that. So yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned with this one. It doesn't cause you to be sleepy or drowsy. So I love this. I always have a bottle of this on hand, at least one bottle, just in case, in my car, purse, wherever. Okay, so we have something called the Health Print that maybe you're familiar with. And if you're not, please talk to the person that invited you to look at this tonight, because the Health Print is something that it's just 20 questions, takes 5 minutes. It's a free health assessment basically, and it's great. And they give you different recommendations and things like that. I'm not going to go through all of this, but that would be something to set up a time with the person that invited you and to talk more, a deeper dive into what might be most helpful for you. I do want to highlight this. I'm really, really loving this, and I'm sad it's going to end here soon. In May, it's Women's Health Month, which is another reason why we're doing this health chat tonight. And Shaklee has come out with a special health pack for women, and it's a wonderful, wonderful pack. So it gives you the products that we were talking about tonight: this Vitalizer, strip of vitamins, the Stress Relief Complex, the Life Shake, and you can pick. We have a handful of different flavors that are all delicious, but we have one that's a new seasonal flavor called Summer Peach. I'm in love with this shake. It's like my new favorite. I'm usually a vanilla girl because I can mix in my own fruits and different things to make it taste different. I love this. I love the peach. So you can get that in this pack for a limited time. And then the Osteomatrix, that calcium and magnesium. And then you're going to get this wonderful pamphlet that has exercise tips and recipes and different fun things and nutritional things for women's health. Now, this is on special. You can see here, there's a special member price of $140 with this pack. And for those of you who are not familiar, Shaklee has something called a membership, which is kind of like joining Sam's Club or Costco. It's like you're in a preferred customer club, if you will. It's normally $20 one time, but that fee is waived with this pack. And we have a couple other packs that the fee is waived with, so you can talk to the person that invited you and they can help you with that. But it waives that $20 fee. There's no annual fees on membership, and there's no monthly requirements. You can buy as frequently or infrequently as you choose. I do recommend that if you do decide to start on a supplement regimen of the vitamins, minerals, protein, things like that, to at least give it a 90-day trial. And I say that because that really helps to build that foundation in. And I call it a health journey. And I check in with you, or the person that invited you will check in and help to get the right products that really work for you and your nutritional needs and your health needs. And so anyways, this is a great price because it's over a $25 savings on the member price. And then for those of you who are not members, you'd also get that fee waived. Really good deal. Again, the health print, this is a wonderful assessment. You can get the link from the person that invited you. And the last slide tonight is people come into Shaklee and start with Shaklee products for 3 reasons, one of 3 reasons. And I already described the use reason. That's a membership, trying products at that discounted rate and having superior products for your health or your family's health. And for some people, they decide that, I like these products and I'm already sharing them with friends and family, which is what I was doing 7 years ago. And before I knew it, I had a business. Shaklee was sending me thank you checks for sharing. I didn't even understand why they were sending me checks in the beginning. I was just getting this and I thought it was a mistake. But it was indeed, a thank you check for just sharing products that I was already using and loving. So some people fall into that category. And then other people decide that they want to do what I'm doing, what Katie's doing, and some other people here. And that's building a business, building a team, and that looks different for everyone. Some people do it still pretty casually. Some people are all in, and this is their what they're really focusing their time on. And for me, like I said, I do this because it helps to empower and inspire people, and specifically women, and their families to better health. And I really, really have a passion for that. I also love that I can do it from home with my kids growing and they're young. So it's really rewarding, and it's been a rewarding thing for David and I, the Shaklee business has. It really has, and I'm thankful for it. And I'm also thankful for all of you for taking the time tonight to listen. So again, if you're interested in that women's pack or learning more, please talk to the person that invited you tonight, and I thank you for being on. I'm going to stop the video and take any questions, so give me a second.